Start over.
Okay.
Where's Mike?
I don't know, he was standing there when we
Sheldon?
started. Sheldon fell asleep.
You didn't start? Did you start it?
Yeah, sort
We try to tape every meetings for people who can't make it. We put them on YouTube, you know, for our out-of-towners, our snowbirds, so they can see us. But looks like they dropped the ball again, so. So other than that, like I said, the secretary position will be coming up and vice president as well, unless you want to beg someone to run for vice president again. I don't see everybody jumping over the table to get here, but you could always catch me at the break, you know. All right, any other questions for me at all? Sir, you can come see me at the break, let you know more about the board positions and stuff.
Gavin will talk about it.
And Gavin can talk about it too. All right, Vice President.
All right, I'm Karen. I'm your current vice president. My position is up at the end of this year. I only served a one-year term because Randy was vice president and he took over president. So I stepped in and got elected by you guys. If I run again, it'll be another 2-year term. If you guys want me to run again, I will. Unless someone else wants it. It's a hard job. It's a lot of work, but I'm getting a lot of help, so I kind of don't mind hanging in there for you guys. There's a lot of people in this audience here that step up, and it makes my life easier. But it allows us to do more things for the club, too. A lot of things that were never getting done, or that we would have never even thought to do, are getting done because of the cooperation of everybody here. So I'll be happy to take another 2 years if you guys want me, but you got to elect me. So we'll do that in December. Okay? Club merchandise updates. The new license plates are in, the better looking ones. If you bought one of the blurry ones, trade it for a new one. You've already paid, you don't have to repay. Just give her your old ones or toss the old ones out and go see the merchandise people over there for a new one. Lanyards, we have plenty of those left. Those are $3 a piece. The chapter points order, you guys approved purchase with our chapter points. The gold cube came in yesterday, so that will go up for raffle probably early next year. And I've got 9 of those nice classifiers coming in, and I got notification those shipped from Keene. Those will go in as door prizes.
I think everybody likes getting these.
Yeah. So we got 12. We got 9 or 12. We get 9 or 12 of those. 9, right? We got 3 of each size, 3 of each of the popular sizes. So those are on their way. Okay, we're going to do the coin shoot again up at Woody's. We're just going to do the normal one that we've been doing with the specialty coins, with the V nickels and the Mercury dimes and Indian head pennies and all that stuff. And I think this time we're going to do a pull tab hunt for a gold nugget. I'm going to bury a buttload of pull tabs. Person who finds the most is going to get a nugget.
I'll win because that's all I have.
Okay? They will be painted. Don't think about bringing your own because we're going to paint them a special color. So no finding a spill in your pocket full of pull tabs. That's not going to work. But we're gonna make it a little fun, and then come for the picnic. We're gonna do a specialty shoot too, and I think we're gonna do our keys and our treasure boxes. So we'll talk about that at the next meeting. But we will have a pull tab hunt at this next outing next Saturday. If you're coming and you're gonna hunt, bring your headphones, please. Okay. And there will be the usual silver and nickels and stuff. And then we'll have three gold bags and 2 gold nuggets beside the pull tab nugget buried up there. You guys got your newsletters. If you want them, you can get them online. If you didn't get one tonight, you can download it from the website. It's loaded. Website or Facebook, or email me. I'll send you a copy. Okay, t-shirts. We're running low. We're down to about 40, so we're going to place an order. By suggestion, we're going to order t-shirts with the club flag on the back, and I'm going to start taking special orders tonight. You can see me at the break. Because of the colors of the flag, we're kind of limited on colors of t-shirts. So it's going to be black, charcoal, blue, any kind of blue, tropical or sky blue, I think we put on the order form. and white. I don't think anybody wants white. So, and you'll be able to order zip-up hoodies. I've got zip-up hoodie. I have one in the truck. I didn't bring it in, but they make really nice zip-up hoodies too, club hoodies, and those are $26 for the hoodies. The flag t-shirts are going to be $16, the same as those. If you want a V-neck, you'll be able to order a V-neck. If you want triple X or extra fluffy, you can order one of those too. But I'll be taking orders for that tonight and the next meeting. I will place the order after the next meeting. They'll be here in November for delivery in November. And you can order, if you want something, if you don't get to order it tonight, email me or message me or something and we'll get you an order for them. But special orders do have to be prepaid. Okay, because the extra, most times people are ordering an extra big size and I can't sell those, so they got to be prepaid. And the pet food raffles go with tonight. I told you guys last couple of meetings we're donating out to the Arizona Animal Welfare League, another no-kill shelter, the oldest no-kill shelter in the state of Arizona, I believe. They actually pick up from me. So he'll call me tomorrow morning and he'll pick up the donations. So I'd like to wow them a little bit as we have a lot of people here tonight. I'd like to see a little bit more participation in that. So if you guys could think about that next month and maybe bring a little bag of treats or something, I'd really like those guys to stop by my house and go, holy crap, look what you guys have done. They're very grateful, and I do post pictures and the information on our website so other people can see what we're doing for the community too. So tonight will be the $50 gift card. Some lucky person's going to go to dinner. And you have to take me, that's the rule. Okay, you get a gift card, but I have to go with it. And I prefer Red Lobster. So. Well, I don't know if I can help you with that. Where's Ted? Ted needs to win then. Where are you, Ted? That's it for me. Anybody have any questions on merchandise? Or thank you, Linda, for printing our newsletters again. Linda's one of our members who has a print shop, and she's saving me hours of time collating and stapling and running through that stupid club printer that jams and runs out of tone all the time. So thank you, Linda.
I just want to remind you that the coffee position will be open in December.
Oh yeah, and Anne's giving up her coffee position. So if somebody wants to take over bringing coffee, Anne can tell you about what's going on with that. Yeah. And as far as the elections and the board positions go, we all joke that it's easy. It's not. It takes a lot of effort to make this club what it is from everybody. So if you've got the time and you've got some knowledge and you've got the patience and you're retired, or you have a job like me where you can cheat and work on club stuff while you're doing your regular job, think about stepping up and helping. It's not easy. Seriously, it's not an easy job. It takes a lot. But the more help we have, the easier it is on us. And I encourage everybody to come to a board meeting and kind of see how we operate and the things that we have to do to keep this club doing what it's doing. It takes a lot. And the more people we got, like I said, the more people we got, the more we appreciate you. And the more we can get done, and the better this club gets. And it's getting better and better and better and better. It's really fantastic. So, and it makes me happy to see all of you guys happy. So, thanks.
Are we on Woody or are we on the
Oh, treasure.
well, Woody's on his way up. We'll go with Woody. You're getting bumped. It's like being on the Tonight Show. That's what happens when you put him in charge, and you're not supposed to do your job, which is announce the next guy.
Okay, did you mention about the Alva-Freya Fest? No. The Alva-Freya Fest is going to be October the 1st, and it's basically the last weekend for people to camp at my house for the weekend. The following week, the J. Johns will be gone. So after that, you'll be on your own. At the outing, on this next outing we're having, Janet came up a couple of weeks ago and it was raining, so we couldn't go out and play. And we built some rocker boxes. And I haven't told these guys yet, but the major gift on the door prize is going to be one of the rocker boxes. So a really super thing. And I'll be demonstrating it at the outing. It looks really, really super. I'm using carpet instead, but it looks really, really great. So if you can make it up there, come up to it. It's going to be a super outing.
We have a equipment demonstration going on too. Somebody's
Right. So we'll have a lot of demonstrations. Every outing up there, we've done really, really well teaching people, right? So also, I think it's in September, the third weekend is when we have for the mining tour. Right. I've talked to Kevin, and the third weekend we're going to do the mining tour. It's really, really cool. There's a lot of mines he owns back there. He'll take you to some of the mines. You go into the mines, and we'll make it like a potluck, and just have a lot of fun. But we have to do it in September. That way we've got the J. Johns and everything, and people can camp out for the weekend. If you don't want to go to the tour, you can still come up and camp out for the weekend if you want. But other than that, it's going to be really great. Do what?
The chili cook-off next weekend.
Right. And next weekend, right, on the 10th, we have the chili cook-off. And that's, who's going to do the chili?
Everybody.
Okay.
And then Sheldon's the judge.
So everybody else is going to, we're going to have a bunch of show-offs, right?
Yeah, a bunch of show-offs, and we're gonna need judges, we're gonna need volunteers.
We need chili. Who's got to make chili for this? Come on.
Somebody make some chili with no salt. Does anybody know how to do that? Is there anybody can make chili with no salt? I didn't think so. So, anyway, you know, we're going to have a great time. And like I said, basically it's the last couple of weekends that you're going to be able to come up and camp out up there.
You might win a ribbon and a nugget.
Do what?
You might win a nugget,
And you might win a nugget or two.
or a ribbon participation.
So, anyways, any questions? I'll give it back to Randy.
Yeah, it's more for bragging rights too, you know. How many people are going up to Woody's next week? Show of hands. All right, so you're all gonna make some chili? I don't care if we go to Wendy's and drive through and get it. Who knows? You might win a nugget, right? Open up a couple cans of stag chili. Skyline. All right, moving over to the finance manager.
Hello, folks. My name's Mark. I'm your treasurer. It's a very brief rundown for this month. Again, total cash on hand, we have $100 in the claims petty cash box. Treasurer's cash box has $200. The events coordinator petty cash box has $300. In the general fund, as I have explained over the last couple of months, that I've been moving or letting the account dwindle down to a manageable amount of like $2,000. So should any hacking occur, this is on the bank's recommendation that will minimize our exposure to somebody trying to hack the account should they do it. Anyhow, we have $1,264 in that. The claims maintenance is now at $1,225. We had expenditures of $1,821 to renew all the claims with the BLM this month. So we're all up to date through next year, but the claims maintenance fund is now at $1,225. General savings, we have $7,172 in that. So we have total cash, we have $10,262.88, and our gold inventory, nuggets, fines, and gold bags comes to $62.51. So we have a total cash and gold on hand as a club of $16,513.98. Quick rundown on the expenses. The event signs that Karen talked about for directing everybody out to where we're going, wherever that might be, was $549. The flag was $387. The club made a purchase from one of the members for gold last month of $116. Newsletters were $97. Food for the outing last month was $147. And again, as I explained, the claims renewal fees were $18.21. Last month's outing income we had, for the outing, we had $359 from all the attendees for raffle tickets and et cetera, stuff was t-shirts and what have you, and the food expense, $147. So we had made a net income of $212 on the outing, so that was pretty good. Most of the outings have been paying for themselves because of participation from the club members, which, you know, you're all welcome, but we expect a little bit more participation. We'd like to see everybody out there because we do have a lot of fun. The members that do show up, anyone will tell you that this is a lot of fun that we have out there. We keep things going. We had a presentation last month up there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see what else. Bring up to date everything else. The flagpole that was ordered is scheduled for delivery on or about October 5th. The new grill that we had talked about a couple months ago, I'm going to order this month, so we should have that by the outing for October. Christmas party, again, Randy touched on it. We're looking to do something different than the standard fare that we've had for the last, since I've been with the club. 5 or 6 years of sugar. Anyhow, we're going to do some kind of catering event. So if any of the members have an idea as what they'd like to put in the hat for a type of food for being catered in, we'd appreciate it because we're going to have to nail this down within the next board meeting.
Cracker Barrel.
Well, if you go down to visit the Tucson Club this coming October, they have their outing and they have pretty nice sized steaks down there.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Again, as my wife explained, she's been doing the coffee concession for the last 5 years. She's got other things that are taking up a lot more of her time, but you can talk to her about it. It's self-funding. There's nothing out of your pocket for whoever steps up to the plate on that, but she can give you more details. All the equipment and everything is all covered. So anyhow, that's all I have to report. Thank you very much.
I want to say Mark does a fantastic job. I know it could be, ripping his hair out, but, he's like me, probably doesn't have a whole lot there anyway, but, hell of a job, Mark. Also, I missed we talk about Woody. Woody's our events coordinator, but he lives up in Dewey, so he could always use help. I think I talked about this last meeting. If there's anybody down in the Phoenix area, we had Leo who would schedule events, did like the Glencroft Community Center or the schools, so if there's anybody down here who might want to run some kind of events, Woody could use help with fundraising, or when he goes out to dinner, he doesn't just go to dinner, he goes and hits the manager up and sees if he can get a gift card to give away while he's there. He's loaded with the 501c and tells them what we do, and he kind of thinks outside the box when he's out there, and I was trying to benefit the club somehow. So if anybody can help him out, reach out to him at the break or come see me at the break, and we could use all the help we can get. All right, moving on. Claims Committee. We have Doug Hawkeye Beam. I ain't gonna say that.
All right, just an update on our last outing in Dewey. We had 60 attendees. That was pretty good. I want to see if we can hit 75 or better this next weekend. So who's all going? Did you show it? Yeah, who's all going? Okay, so I'm assuming you're all bringing friends too. We're going to have another cleanup in September. Typically, we would have it this weekend. Given it's a holiday weekend, we're not going to do that. Then next weekend is our outing up in Dewey. So what I want to do is have it the third or fourth weekend of September. Typically we'll do it on a Saturday or Sunday, but I don't really, it doesn't have to be. Those on the claims committee that can lead it during the week or on a Sunday or some sort of alternate day, that works too. We're going to go ahead and do our GPAP rocks cleanup this month, and likely we'll set some posts in Rainbow's Inn. We'll see. getting close. Um, So also, we'll have an update on the private claims maps, the booklets that we give out. We had some amended claims, and we added a couple of claims out in the supers. And so we'll give you the updates on that. But we got something kind of special brewing. And it's an opportunity to have access for placer mining on some load claims at no cost to the club. And so I'm working out the details of that. We've got to get permission from the load owner. Once we do that, I'll update the claims maps and directions with that information, and then we'll publish a new version. It was a fun drive. I don't know if you've all seen the videos of Lee. So we're trying to make a decision whether to leave Lee's Xterra there so it'd be a smoother run for the future. We did? Oh yeah, we did, on mic. Yeah, we had to get him off of Lee's bumper. Yeah, it was a good time getting there. Obviously, we'll have to do some road work to get there, but it is 100 acres of claims, so it's worth it. We did some sampling in one particular spot and had some color in just a little bit of dirt, so that's good. We haven't even really, we checked a couple other spots, but we haven't really sampled the full 100 acres, so looking forward to that once we get that worked out. We'll let you know. That is up in Wickenburg, Morristown area, so it's, you can drive right past Rainbow's End and eventually get to it on the old Stagecoach Road. One of the other things that I think you saw, hang on, Garrett, I'll get right back to you. One of the other things, I don't know if y'all saw the post from Karen earlier this week on our poker run in October. So I'm putting together a map on where that will go, and I guess I have to be somewhat gentle in the mapping of that so everybody can participate. Right. Did everybody hear that? Everybody's welcome. So what the purpose of that poker run is to raise funds specifically for claims. And then that'll give everybody a chance to win a prize and figure out where all these claims are at the same time having a good time on this poker run. Garrett?
I was just asking if that claim is fully specific.
We're gonna make it 2 weeks.
Yeah, we will make it 2-wheel right now. It is 4-wheel, high clearance.
And a tow strap.
And a tow strap. And a partner.
No running board.
And no running boards, yeah.
How do you make it 2
We got a lot of road work to do.
Can I just bring a few roads in the raffle?
Yep, some big rocks. The other thing, our next event, our fall picnic, we're actually looking at trying to, I don't know if everybody remembers where we had the Wounded Warrior Project event. We're looking at setting up there for our fall picnic. I'm working with to get a state trust group permit. So I'm going to jump right into training if there's no questions about claims. So at our September outing, we're going to have an equipment expert out there to do some demonstrations on equipment. October, we're going to have Brian Beck, our local geologist. I don't know if you were at, who was ever at our last event up at Dewey. He did a short presentation in the house, and it was pretty interesting. So I highly recommend coming and seeing that. November, December, we're not going to have any guest speakers, since that's our election nominations and Christmas party. Then in January, we're going to have Shannon Poe from AMRA. And we're continuing the claims and training committee is continuing to fill the calendar for next year. All right, any questions?
All right. Thank you, Doug, for all you do. Rob, I don't know why Rob's not on the agenda. Did he get bypassed for some reason?
My reviewer.
Well, I don't know. I usually go. Well, we'll start with the first year board. You got anything?
Nothing.
You can come up and talk about what you do and butter some people up for their rushing up here to sign up for the election.
Good evening, everybody. How is everybody tonight? Fantastic. My name is Gavin Hickson. I'm your first year board for 2016. Basically, in charge of the club's trailer, hauling out all the goodies for the common outings, and the next one looks like it's going to be October 15th, the GPAP Fall Common Dig out at Golden Dreams. That'll be the next time the trailer's out there with all the tables and awnings, dry washers, gold wells, and other goodies, trommels.
All you guys helping set up all the areas?
Oh yeah, big round of applause to all you guys who always help every trip getting that those big boys put up and taken down. So that's the next time the trailer's out. As far as the position, the biggest pro for me taking that on this year has been the ability to meet a lot of new members. That's been actually the best part. I've met a lot of new people just being out there the few times. Second part is getting me out of the house and actually getting out to the claims and doing some digging and hanging out with you guys. That's the biggest pros for me. Can't really think of any cons. Rob did an awesome job last year taking care of the trailers, so I pretty much just fell right into the position. It's organized real well. It's easy to tow. You also set up the sound stuff and the projector for the meetings. Get you out to the meetings, and like I said, they'll just get you around all you people and chance to meet everybody.
Well,
So.
help if you don't know how to do it.
So that's the biggest part of the position. So I look forward to helping out the next person, whoever that may be. But yeah, next meeting or the next time the trailer will be out will be October 15th. So once again, look forward to seeing all you guys out there then. So until then.
Thank you. The state of the library. The brick?
I got the brick.
He's got the brick.
The brick is here. Anybody that wants to look at the brick, it's back there. It's even golden. We got 2 new books this time around. Karen was nice enough to pick up this one more book about the superstitions, Ghosts of the Superstitions. It's here. Who wants to learn about the superstitions, come and get it at the library. Check it out and bring it back next month. The other book I have is Tombstone's Treasure, Silver Mines and Golden Saloons. I was going to take some time and read out of it, but I won't tonight. We don't have that much time. I see we're getting close. But it talks about Tombstone and not just, the shootout or anything like that. It talks about the mines, and it's very interesting. I read some of it, and I'm fascinated about that. So come and get it. For all those that you have kids, I know that you kids have to read for school. We have books for you. Come and get them, check them out, do a book report for your school, earn some points. Thank you.
Welcome. What's that? Was he? Yeah,
Yeah, we could talk all about that.
Hello everybody, I'm Malcolm, your senior board member. Everybody who came to see me earlier today, your ID cards are ready. You can come get them at the break. If anybody else needs an ID card, come see me or my lovely assistant Eileen. We'll get you information and get you an ID card for the next meeting. And apparently I'm in charge of the election committee, so if anybody wants to help with that, come by and see me, give me your name. Anybody have any questions? All right, thank you.
good job. Cisco, where you at? Where's he hiding at? Stand up for a second, Cisco. I want to thank Cisco. This is Rick. He's gonna be our guest speaker tonight. We're gonna talk about desert survival. Is everybody getting back to their seat? We need Woody to put that down over there.
A couple more NFL players kneel tonight.
All right. Gonna pass it off to you, and I'll get the link.
Another one off the
Good evening. I want to thank everybody for inviting me. I've been after Doug for a couple of years to invite me, and he finally did, but I thought you'd pay money, but I guess you don't. He did say he'd give me a big nugget, an ounce or so. I thought that was nice. We're going to cover a little bit about survival. I want to kind of start off by saying that this is my 61st year of prospecting. I started out in the lode mine in New Mexico, as well as handmade dry bores. I'm still looking for the mother lode. If any of you know where it is, I'd be sure like to follow you out there. So I am a member of GPAA. I'm not a member of the club, but I understand from your president that I will not get out the door unless I join. So I probably will be a member before the night. So we're going to cover a very serious subject today, and that's out in the wilderness where we all go and we all think we're going to be safe and so forth. I happen to be sitting with this gentleman here from Michigan, and he was telling me a story about going out, I guess, by Morristown, and he went to get his shovel, he was packing up, and he fell and broke his ankle. It happens. As a matter of fact, 1 out of 3 of you over 65 will probably have a fall this year and break something. We all know people that have broken hips and so forth from it. Well, the older we get, now I don't think there's anybody in here over 65, I know that the ladies are, but there might be a couple men that are. So we're going to start off by talking about myself, which I really enjoy talking about, but the reason why I want to bring this up is my slant on survival is the fact that I've been the one that went out and got you and brought you back. Over 3,000 missions. When I first started working for the state police, we had a mission a day. In New Mexico, all search and rescues under the state police, whereas here it's under the sheriff. So I went to work at headquarters in Santa Fe, and the first day I started getting rescue calls and search calls. So I put this slide presentation together a couple of years ago, and it's been shown to a lot of RV clubs and conventions because it's my side of the story. I'm not going to teach you how to go out and eat rocks and fry twigs and all that. I'm going to teach you what really counts in my experience of going out and picking people up. It happens here. You see it on television. Matter of fact, you were talking about Superstition Mountains. I'm an expert witness in a court case right now in the Superstition Mountains where a gentleman went up alone, he fell, lived for 3 days, and then he passed away. And of course the family wants to know why he wasn't found. So we're going to talk about some of these kinds of things. Obviously, in Arizona, the local sheriff has jurisdictional responsibility for all search and rescue. You have a number of sheriffs in the state. Some have really crackerjack search and rescue units, and some have maybe less efficient simply because they don't have the number of missions to keep them going. But here we're lucky in Maricopa because we do have a pretty good search and rescue organization. So you're out prospecting. I spent 4 years prospecting there. Anybody knows where that is? That's Castle Dome by Yuma, Arizona. And I moved up here a few years ago from there, and that's where a lot of my prospecting was in Arizona. So you're prospecting and this happens. It can happen to any of us. And of course, all of a sudden now we have a situation, a survival situation. So somebody said when you give a talk, tell them what you're going to tell them, and tell them what you told them. So the number one priority in life is keeping our body temperature between 96 and 106 degrees. So one of the first things you want to think about, obviously, is keeping yourself in that range. Water, a minimum of ½ gallon a day. As a matter of fact, in Australia, I was talking to one of the search and rescue people there in South Australia, and he said they would look at the number of liters of water you had, and that would determine how long they looked for you. So if you only had a couple liters, then the third day they all went home.
Now that happened until the politician got lost. And you know how that works. Only eat what you brought. And, you know, we are not used to eating strange things. Matter of fact, remember, Yule Gibbons, kind of goes back a ways, you know, he was a big naturalist and vegetarian, wanted to be well, he died of stomach cancer. So, again, only eat what you have, and we typically don't really need anything for about 3 days, and then our body kind of starts eating our fat. Some of us ought to go out there and try that, but I don't think I want to start. Shelter, again, how do we keep our body between the temperature ranges? Shelter consists of anything that will protect us. Cold clothing protected, obviously, tents. The best thing we have is the vehicle we came with. I brought today, in fact, I put this in the little kit, I brought an umbrella. Really handy. Of course, when we left Awatuki, it was raining, so I can't really say I brought it for that reason. But very handy device to throw in there. They're very inexpensive. You can get them about anywhere, and will sure give you some shade out in the desert areas where we are. Something you just throw in the back. Of course, a lot of us don't want to be seen with someone, especially the ones that have the little teddy bears on the side. You know, we all want to be seen. Firecraft. If we can't, once we find shelter, then if we're going to have to get warm somehow, there's a number of ways we can do it. I brought a couple things here just to show you. One of them is a magnifying glass. Now, this magnifying glass is not any ordinary magnifying glass. This is a replica of a magnifying glass of the 1820s. The mountain men used flint and steel, but they also used magnifying glass the majority of the time. And I was at Jim Bridger's rendezvous up in Wyoming one year, and they had to sell things that were replicas or original from the 1820s, 1830s. And so I bought one of these. I could almost start a fire with this thing without light. I mean, it's really great. But a magnifying glass might be something you want to use. Cigarette lighter. If you're going to use a cigarette lighter, make sure that you have one that you can see the fluid inside of it. A lot of them, you can't see it, and they'll leak, and all of a sudden you're going to end up with, when you need it the most, there's no there. Matches, obviously. Flint and steel, of course, is a tried method. Water. Water everywhere, except up about Morristown where we get on the GPAP claims. However, we were up there last year and we took a circuitous route to go to Vulture Bait, and we ran across a bunch of water holes, if you will. They're called tanks, and they're simply areas of rock where when it did rain, it filled up with water. And so there is water in some areas, but as we know here in Arizona, we almost have to bring what we have with us. Only water will keep your body in order. So if you get lost and you got a couple beers, it's not going to help you to be drinking them. It may make you feel better. Yeah, thank you very much.
It's a dehydrator.
Understand where to find one. That's a tank called High Tank down south of Yuma, and it's about 30 foot deep and 20 foot across. Now the bad news is that there might be a dead animal in it. So the question comes, wait a minute, you know, I don't mind drinking out of the faucet, but I really want to drink a pool of water that's been there, and you can see the cows have been there and so forth. Well, guess what? The easiest way to purify water is boiling. If you ever notice when you buy milk, it's homogenized, and that means it's been boiled. Well, wait a minute, we can't boil milk. You don't have to boil the water to 220 degrees, 210 degrees. It just has to get up to about 164 degrees. So they heat the milk to 164, and that kills anything that will help you. Then why do they say boil water? They say it because we can see the water boiling. We know it's been past that 160 degrees. Giardia, things like that, anything that is that can harm you other than minerals can be taken out by boiling. How long do you boil it? Well, for 1 minute up to elevations of 6,500 feet. You hear 5 minutes, you hear this, you hear that. 1 minute. You just bring it up to a boil, it's virtually killed everything in there. So we're going to kind of talk about some myths here that are just that. The easiest way to clarify water is to filter it. When I was talking to Doug, he said he had a pair of nylons that he always carried with him until his wife found them. But anything that'll filter the water will take out just the stuff that looks ooey gooey that you really don't want to have. Major thing in this area where you have a lot of helicopters, they're probably going to look for you in a helicopter. Well, there's a number of ways you can signal a helicopter, and waving your hands ain't one of them. As a matter of fact, one of the best ways to do is, first let me just kind of go over some of the things here that you can use, obviously. This is a personal locator beacon. This is a spot, which is real. Anybody in here have a spot? You can get them at REI, if you gentleman has one. Very neat, $150 or so. And not only can you call for help with it through a satellite, you can also turn it on and somebody at home on the internet can track you. And so it's real handy. There's another one out by DeLorme that actually you can text message back and forth. So if you're going out alone, you might think about the spot. What it does, it goes to a communications center, and from that center they'll call the local sheriff in the area where the longitude, latitude is recorded from the spot and send out help. Cell phones, very handy thing. We all have it. Obviously, you can call for help with a cell phone, and we're going to kind of cover that in a minute. Any sort of a mirror. I brought along a CD. Oftentimes, they don't. I was watching a survival show today, Dual Survival, and there was a clip of a guy using a mirror like this. Well, you can't do that, because as soon as you take that spot you see on the ground and you bring it up to past the horizon, you can't see that spot. So you can't aim it at the airplane. So the proper way to do it, and I'll just put the microphone down for a minute, is do this, get a picture, get it on the ground, get the spot, put it on your two fingers, and bring them both up to the aircraft, to the helicopter. Now, another thing you can do if you'd like to expend the money, and they aren't very expensive, they're like $8, is buy a mirror from internet, which is an Air Force type mirror, which has the advantage of having a small circle in the center of it, if you can see that. And what that does is it is a mirror that goes back and forth, and when you bring it up to your eye, you actually see a spot above the horizon. These are like $8 or $9. So if you're that conscious of worrying about it and so forth. However, another thing that we have to talk about when we talk about being seen by a helicopter, is of course the cell phones. The law says that any cell phone, if you hit 911, has to send out your longitude and latitude. Now that's the good news. Not all the time does it transmit clearly, and oftentimes you have to kind of do it by what direction did the signal come from. Once you send 911 out, after that, and you make communication, then what you want to do is go to texting. Now, a lot of us old people don't know how to text, but if you do, go to texting. Why? Because let's say we're in an area that doesn't have any cell phone coverage. So we call 911 and nothing happens. I can send a text to my friends or whoever, my loved ones, and then as I walk around, if it finds a hot spot, that text will go out. It's what they call a store and forward. So that's used a lot where, again, if you're just waiting to talk to them voice-wise, you might not be able to make contact, so you want to go to text. Also, it saves the batteries big time. So a number of things here that we can use to signal. Mirrors have been seen as far as 200 miles away. We did some research on it years ago, and from the top of Sandia Mountains, which is 10,675 feet, to the bottom, which is about 6,000 feet, we could actually see moon flashes using a signal mirror. Very powerful instrument. If you have a mirror, and of course anything will work for a mirror, as you can tell. Stay with your vehicle. If we're looking for you with air, we're going to find your vehicle, we may not find you. Especially if we have our camos on or whatever we have on, this will be very difficult to find you. Very interesting picture here. This was some research done down in the Tucson area by Southwest Search and Rescue and the Air Force. And what they did is they sent people out on the Mogollon Rim and in the desert and flew many, many sorties to try to see them, different colored clothes on. What they found was that if you lay down and spread your legs and put your arms up, you have a 81% chance of being seen versus waving. Why? Because when we search by helicopter, we're looking for anything which is not natural. An X is not natural. You standing there now, there's a couple of us in the room, I see the gentleman there. We're lucky because we have a solar powered reflector. So you and I have to just kind of aim, work fine. So again, if a helicopter comes down, also, this is a wave off to a helicopter. And we had an incident one time, we were all out searching, and the subject had broken his leg, and he was laying there on the side of the hill, and the helicopter come over, and so about the second day, the helicopter said, that guy's still there. Maybe he's not search and rescue, waving us off. Maybe he's the victim, which he was. So again, this is taught, by the way, in many, many schools. They have what they call the Hug-a-Tree program for young children, and they teach them what to do in case they get lost. And this is one of the things, of course, they teach you. Navigation. I noticed in your newsletter that you have somebody teaching mapping compass, I believe, or GPS or something. Good for you. That you do that, there's a number of ways we can look at direction. Obviously, if you have a map, a watch will tell us direction as long as it's an analog watch. So well, I got a digital watch, well, that ain't gonna help you. All you have to do is point the big hand at the sun, the small hand at the sun, and halfway between there and 12 o'clock is south. There's other ways to do it too, but this is a very common way. On the GPS, almost all GPSs today have what they call a track back feature, or breadcrumb trail. And what that does is wherever you go, off-road or anything, it marks it and it keeps it on the map, even though there's no road there because you have a highway GPS. To get home, all you have to do is just bring that up in your menu and follow it back. It's going to take you back exactly the same way you came. Food. Again, don't eat anything unless you have it with you. 20% of all the plants in the Southwest are toxic. Here's a card deck of 52 cards. In this, on one side, it has a picture of a plant. On the other side, it tells you the description of the plant. If the description is in red, it's toxic. So we don't think about it, but just tomato plants. If you eat a tomato leaf, your throat will swell up. Paracanthus berries, a number of them. So, and plus the fact, our stomachs just aren't ready to eat some of this stuff. Now mushrooms, somebody in here said that he ate magic mushrooms. I guess that's okay. I forgot. He was sitting back in the back part of the room. Okay, let's talk a little bit about critters. The one that I'm the most worried about is the one in the center that had just bought the signal mirror, so they were just having fun flashing at the tram. So we jumped out and braced them and searched them and accused them of smoking marijuana, one thing and the other. And I think they broke the mirror, and that was the end of that story. But very seldom have we have anybody